Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Brittany at Coslit Candle Co. and I make videos about everything you need to run a small candle business. Today I wanted to show you guys how I wick my candle jars using a pen tube. And it's actually a weird way of doing it, but I find it's a lot easier than using a straw. And I always have pens around, so if I do end up losing the tube I'm using, as long as it's a pen with a spring inside, I can just take that apart and start using that, which should end up helping me out a lot. So I had gotten my wicks ready beforehand just to make this video a little bit easier, and I figured out that I want to start doing it like that just because it was so much faster and it sort of became mindless after a little bit. So I feel like that'll start helping me out a lot, especially when I'm making more candles as I go. So today I'm going to be wearing gloves as I do it, just so I can keep my jars clean. I'm getting ready to start selling, so I really want to make sure I don't get any fingerprints on my jars so they're ready to go when I do start selling. Let's see if I can get the gloves on. I had actually cleaned my jars beforehand, but I did save one just to show you guys how I do it. And there are a lot of different ways you can clean your jar. I personally like hand sanitizer and a cloth, but some people use soap and water, other people will use rubbing alcohol. But I find this is what works best for me. And you're doing this just to make sure there's no debris left in the jar, especially before you pour your candles. And it also makes sure the wick sticks to the jar. You really don't want a runaway wick. And some people will actually use glue, but I personally like the wick stickers. That's just what works best for me. So I'm gonna change my camera angle over just so you guys can see how I place my wicks, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that was actually a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, but I did it and I'm here and now I can move forward. So with the wicks, you're going to want to just slide them through just like that. And then I leave the sticker on just so I can press them through and fold the wick over the top of the pen tube. Just like that. And then I just take the sticker off. And I like to make sure when I place my wicks that they're about an inch, away from the sides and about an inch away from each other. And that's just to make sure there's proper spacing. Yeah. My jars are about 4 inches in diameter, and I like double wicking because it helps with the wax pool and the flame's not too big, and it helps with the soot and flickering. So I've found double wicking for me is really the only way to go as far as these jars go. So I make sure they're not really touching and they still have enough space on the sides. Just like that. So when you're choosing a wick, you can go on to candlescience.com and they have a wick calculator. So you put in your size of your jar and the type of wax you use, because wax does have a little bit to play with what kind of wick you want to use. So they have a calculator and they tell you exactly what kind of wick is best for the jar you're using, and there we go. And for the wax type you have. That can honestly be a big lifesaver as well. And if you do want to learn a little bit more about wicks, I'm using Eco 4 right now, and that feels perfect for my jars. But if you do want to look more into wicks, they have a chart as well, so you can study a little bit about wicks, what wax they're best used for, and how far they throw, like their flame and their wax spool. So I'll leave a link below for that, just in case you want to check that out. And when you're securing your wicks, you want to make sure that they're tight. And that way it keeps the flame from flickering and it keeps your candles more organized. So you just want to pull it through. Let's see if I can do it. And then when you're wicking it, when you're double wicking it, you want to twist the wicks around each other. And that helps, especially if you're using a heat gun. It'll help make sure you don't have your wicks falling into the wax. Alright, I'm just going to finish these up real quick, and then I'll come back and record the rest. Okay everyone, today I learned that it's actually really hard to wick a jar and talk at the same time. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed today's video, just give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!